Hi, I'm Emma, and you're watching My Birthway, and this is the 22 weeks pregnant update. And I'm realizing now, as I look in the video and I see the sunlight shining off of this side of my face, that I should have noticed this before and thought about it, but I'm starting to get, I think, a fatter face, which is, to me, is not upsetting at all. That's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get fat in interesting places. I think my arms have gotten a little bit fatter, or just maybe less strong, less muscle, more fat. And other places, too, but I'm thinking that I've been gaining weight, but not like a lot. I'm trying to think, like maybe now I've probably gained, I'm guessing because my scale at the house is different than the scale at the birth center, where I go for my checkups. And I stupidly only weighed myself some in the beginning. So I'm thinking I've gained around 15 pounds maybe at this point is what I'm thinking. But I also think that a lot of my muscle is turning into fat because I'm using it less, like my arms, for example. So I think that's one of the transitions that I'm undergoing is I think in certain places I look fatter than I did before, but not even so much because of the extra weight, because I think my muscle's converting to fat for now because I'm not using the muscle. And then later it'll turn back into muscle when I don't have a stomach and I'm doing all these things, we'll see. So this week has been interesting. I talked last week about the pelvic girdle pain, like getting better because of all the stretching and walking. Okay, but now it's back and it is worse. And like my leg that I've mentioned before, my right leg that I know the nerve is getting pinched. It's a branch of the femoral nerve. I've looked it up. Femoral nerve, like femur. Is getting pinched, and it's not a nerve that controls movement, it's just a nerve that controls your feeling of your skin and stuff, but it hurts sometimes. It like aches and hurts, and so do my hips sometimes. And this week I haven't done as much walking and stretching, and that's part of it. Like, it's hard to keep up with that, and I'm being a punk, and I need to be keeping up with that. But that's back, and it's been hurting worse, and when I walk around, like, it doesn't hurt like at all. It's just when I sit for a long period of time or like lay for a long period of time, I have to keep like shifting, like sleep with this knee up, all that stuff. Or when I maybe stand completely still for a long period of time, like standing but moving is fine. So it's just like, it's just like holding myself in bad positions. And I did some more research and reminded myself that it has to do with my posture, and my natural posture is kind of to stick my stomach out, and which is not really the best for your lower back, and that's because I have a really strong lower back, but I think I probably have weaker abdominals just naturally, and the way I stand exacerbates that and makes it worse. So I'm thinking that that's part of it too, so I need to be more conscious of standing the right way and all that. So back to that thought about if I should go to the chiropractor, but I still think I can fix it, because I know what's going on. I know that I'm mistreating myself and not taking care of myself properly when it comes to dealing with it. And so I just need to do that. So also this baby has been doing tons of somersaults. We're like in the phase now where there's not just kicking, there's like, I can just like feel everything. I can finally like feel the difference between just a movement and a certain kind of movement, or I imagine that I can. And so I am at least imagining that's true. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm imagining. So like I'm imagining that there's a total flip, or there's a somersault, or there's a kick, or like a kick and a punch at the same time, all these things. So that's allowing me to like add a personality onto this baby and imagine what they're doing in there and what they're thinking. And they're probably not thinking many things that are unrelated to their current environment. They're probably not thinking of me because they don't even know what I look like. They don't have a visual thought of me. So like, what is dreaming and thinking for an infant when their visual world is so different than what it is when you're born and an adult and stuff. So anyway, but I'm adding personality to it, and it's been a lot of fun feeling the movement and getting Jason to feel it and feeling different movements. And I feel like this is a good week of bonding with the baby and I, because there's more personality going on that he's showing me, or she is showing me. I finally got some maternity clothes. So before, I had gotten maternity clothes from friends, particularly my friend Jenny, who gave me like a bazillion things, and it's been so helpful. And earlier than I thought I would need it, I was using them. But I finally, for my birthday, got a pair of leggings that my mom gave me that are like the stretchy kind that I'm wearing now. And then I went back again like that later on that week and got more pairs of those and tried another pair and it doesn't fit, and ordered maternity underwear, and we'll see if that, you know, I had ordered online. I couldn't really find it anywhere in the store. I need to look probably better because trying it on is important, at least for me. But we'll see if that comes and is nice and stuff, because I have like mangled all my underwear, just cut them to pieces to like cut the elastic so that they aren't too tight. And I just need to stop doing that because the underwears are like falling apart. It's pretty hilarious. It looks like I live in the apocalypse and am pregnant when you see my underwear. So anyway, so I finally got maternity clothes, so that's cool. And the coolest thing that happened this week, well, let me save that for the end. Okay, so the next thing would be, I'm still hungry. I'm like getting hungrier and hungrier. And I'm still super into the eggs and butter like I was last week. Like I'm just snarfing that stuff, which is great. And then I'm just hungry for other stuff too. I'm like, oh, more of this? Yes, I'll have that. And more of this, you know, that kind of thing. But especially the fatty, proteiny foods are the things that I'm like really trying to like shove in my face. Okay, so the really exciting thing from this week is that my boobs are making milk. Or the pre-milk, the pre-colostrum. And it's the coolest thing ever. So I looked it up, and sometimes this early in pregnancy, it happens, but it doesn't really usually happen this early for first-time moms. Usually it's like more for second-time moms, and they can start even earlier than, 22 weeks. But every variation is totally normal. And so the way I discovered this is because you wear a bra all day to work and you come home and you're like, ugh, like, please let my boobs free. Like, they shouldn't be in this bra. It's horrible. And I noticed on one of my nipples, there was like some like crusties, like maybe I had dry skin. So I was like, oh, let me try to scratch this off, get that off. I was doing that and I was like, oh, well, that one's too crusty. I can't get that piece of dry skin off. So I was like doing that. So in the process, I'm like grabbing my boob and angling it up at my face, like to scratch. And then I think because of the angle, I squeezed without even like thinking about it, and some liquid came out, and I was like, it was clear, and I was like, crap, does this mean I have like a breast infection? That would be horrible. I haven't had any symptoms, and then so I looked it up just to just to see and confirm, and it was like, no, like, sometimes it starts clear and it gets milky a little bit later, and if you have it in both breasts, then it's very unlikely that it's breast infection, especially if you're not feeling symptoms. So then I tried the other breast, and it had the same thing, but it was still clear. So I was like, okay, it's still clear. So of course I'm super excited. And I scream across the land at Jason, who's like a ways away, like cutting down trees and like, clearing brush. And I was like, I have milk. And so he came running and I showed him. And when I squeezed this one, the original one that I'd squeezed, a little bit came out, but it was milky this time. And he was actually like, whoa, like, but are you allowed to do that? Like he thought it was really cool, but he was kind of like overwhelmed, which I was surprised by. I think it was just like blew his mind. And then he was also like, is that okay to do that? I was like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I'm not like going to lose all my milk if I squeeze a little bit out now. It's fine to do that. But it was like really entertaining. So that is so cool to me, and somehow makes me feel even more bonded with my baby, because like this has been a week of cool, like detailed movements that I can feel, and then also making milk. And maybe I've already had it for weeks. I don't know. I'm not leaking, but it's fun to be like, hey, the next step beyond what I'm doing now, which is growing you inside my body, is to feed you. And I'm already getting ready for it. Like, go body, go. It's like the coolest thing ever. So this has been a really exciting week for me. I feel really like on top of the world as far as being a pregnant person and mom. So that's really exciting. Yeah, that's the most exciting thing. That might be the most exciting thing that I've experienced during the entire pregnancy. And I feel almost as excited about getting milk or pre-milk as when we found out we were pregnant. I don't know. To me, breastfeeding is really, really important, and that's for sure something I'm doing. And so maybe it somehow cements my ability to do it. It makes me feel like, oh, you've got this no matter what, I don't know. But that's really exciting. Okay, so before I end the video today, I want to show you my stomach. So let me do that. Let me adjust it and see. Well, okay, so interestingly, in the morning, I'm a lot smaller, and this is like kind of morning, afternoon right now. than in the evening. In the evening, I look like way bigger and way more pregnant. I don't know if that's because I get tired and I relax my muscles, or because I've been eating all day and so I'm like filled with food. But I think you can already tell by the clothes I'm bigger. But then like if I lift up my looser clothes and show you just my stomach with the maternity leggings on, you can really see the difference. There's my curve. So my belly button is here. And also too, I've noticed you can see like a slight difference, like it's like flat and then it kind of goes off onto a bump there. So I'm guessing that my uterus is to this level, because it's usually at your belly button at 20 weeks. So I'm guessing my uterus is kind of at this level, which is where that difference in like shape is. So I'm going to ask the midwife when we go in a couple weeks about it. Yeah, so these leggings have been really nice. But sometimes when I wear them up high, they get itchy. So sometimes I also just want to like pull them down really far, you know. But yeah, that's my stomach now. So you can see how big I look more when you see the arch of my back, which is my normal way of standing. Yeah, there we go. That's me at 22 weeks. So thanks for watching again, and thanks for sharing in my excitement if you were also similarly excited about all the other things I mentioned during this video. And I will update you soon at 23 weeks. Thanks so much for watching, and bye.